The two unbeaten teams in Group D meet in the men's water polo in Szeged as we enter the second phase of the World Championship Water Polo in Hungary. Hello from me, Bob Ballard, as we bring you Serbia versus Australia, which could be one of the games of the round-robin stage, as well as the games of qualification. The Serbs gave the USA a bloody nose in a high-scoring opener, 17-13 no less. The Australians had a curate's egg of a performance against Kazakhstan, out of the blocks quickly, and then they were pegged back in the second half. But they still run out comfortable winners by 10 goals to 4. Here we are at the SRB Sports Uzada in Szeged for the water polo. And day 2, as far as their competition is concerned, day 4 overall, the women playing alternate days, of course. Well, Serbia have won this competition 5 times, and they'll be hoping to progress a little bit further than they did last time round, as indeed will Australia. We'll get a little measure of where they stand following this one, and Kazakhstan versus USA will be the other game in this group. That takes place at 7:30 local. Well, Serbia have won this competition 5 times, twice as the former Yugoslavia, once as Serbia and Montenegro, twice as Serbia on its own, the last time being in Kazan in 2015. Australia's best finish back on home territory in Perth 1998. They had their best finish in 21 years, last time out in Gwangju, ending up in 6th place. So, to all intents and purposes, this is the match that will determine the winner of this group, and a more favourable draw for the knockout stages, which will start at the weekend. And decent crowd starting to file into the venue. That's the group as it stands. Australia with the win. +6, that's why, by virtue of that, they are top of the table. Serbia in second place, the USA with that, well, heavy defeat in a very high-scoring game. Here are our officials for the match to come. Raffaele Colombo from Italy and David or Domingo of Spain. They will be looking after proceedings from the sidelines in what is likely to be quite a physical encounter. Water polo generally is quite physical, but these two teams will be using a fair amount of muscle, I imagine, during the course of the 32 minutes to come. And as is the protocol now, the away team, certainly as far as the score sheet is concerned, will be entering in first. Australia will go on to full deck, starting with the goalkeeper, Nick Porter. Wearing cap number 2 will be Kenan Marsden. He didn't score in the opening game, nor, surprisingly, did one of their more experienced players, George Ford, who wears number 3. Charlie Negus is number 4. Followed by a guy who does tend to make a bit of a habit of scoring hat-trick goals, and he is Nathan Power. Scored a hat-trick against Kazakhstan in 2019 and scored against them with 3 goals the other day. Tom McJanet will be number 6. Didn't have much full time the other night, only 8 minutes in total. He'll be hoping for a great deal more than that tonight. Luke Pavillard scored 2 penalty goals for the Australians in that win on day 1. Number 8 is Rhys Holden. And now the youngest member of the Australian team at 21 going on 22. Riley Townsend will wear number 9.
Number 10.
Now, this is where I have to get my pronunciation very clear, because one is a put and one's a poot. So Timothy Putt is number 10, and Chaz Poot is number 11. Both born in the same year, and with consecutive numbers, number 10 and 11.
Number 12, the team captain, Blake Edwards.
Number 12 is the Australian captain, Blake Edwards. oldest man on the team, 30 this year. And the second goalie, we'll see which one they choose to go with. Wearing number 13 will be John Hedges.
The head coach of Australia, Tim Hamill.
And head coach is Tim Hamill. Vedran Čurković and Andrew Janitsas are the two officials who will look after the plays as well. Now let's get the lowdown on the Serbian team. Very high scoring opener against the USA, 17-13, of which 7 players contributed field goals. There was one penalty as well. Lazar Dobazanov will be number 1.
Number 2,
Dusan Mandic, who was very influential when these two teams last met at the Olympics in Tokyo. 3 from him and a penalty goal to boot as well in the last game against the USA. Gavril Subotic is number 3. Sava Radulovich is number 4. Dorte Lazic will be wearing number 5.
Number 6,
Nemanja Vico is the next one to come out on full deck for the Serbians.
Number 7,
Strahinja Rasovic is number 7. There were 3 hat-trick scorers in the opening game, and he was one of them. He'll be wearing number 7. And Nikola Lukic also came out the blocks firing the other day with a hat-trick. And he'll have number 8 on his cap. Nikola Jaksic is number 9.
number 10.
Here comes the youngest player at 21 this year, Marko Radulovich.
Number 11,
Number 11 is Radomir Drazovic. Another one of those goal scorers the other day. Also got fouled out of the game as well with 3 personal fouls, so be a bit careful about that today. Viktor Razovic is number 12, and the captain is their goalie, Branislav Mitrovic, the old man.
the head coach of Serbia.
Still can do it, though, even at the age of 37 as he is this year. There is Dejan Savic, the head coach, who will be assisted by Vladimir Markovic and Predrag Mihailovic. Right, time for the anthems. And once again, we'll do the team that's second on the team sheet first. We'll hear the Australian
Ladies and
anthem,
gentlemen, please stand for the
and
national
then
anthem
straight
of
afterwards it will be
Australia.
the anthem of Serbia.
Please keep standing for the national anthem of Serbia.
Both anthems stir the blood, and certainly the blood of the respective nations there. Serbia and Australia getting ready for their second game in Group D, the preliminary round of the men's water polo here in Szeged. And when they met 3 years ago in Gwangju, 13-9 it was in favor of the Serbs. Enough that flying start against the USA when they scored no fewer than 17. Obviously in good nick in that respect. Australia know they have their work cut out to keep them quiet. Mandic with 3, Radulovich with 3, Lukic with 3 last time round. What they also know is Serbia will pick up a lot of fouls. They did in the first game. They picked up 15 fouls in total and had a player fouled out. So that's why I expect to be a pretty physical encounter here. We don't yet know which goalie they're going to opt for. I think they will probably go with their captain, almost certainly will, Branislav Mitrovic. And yeah, again, there's a lot of carryover from 2019 in terms of players who've got plenty of experience. They're just blooding a few new ones like Radulovich. There is Dejan Savic and his coaching team. Australian lineup, all of them with a vast amount of experience, all born in the 90s bar one. As the Serbian best place. Last World Championship they were 5th, while Australia was 6th, so it was those two came head to head to settle that 5th and 6th place in 2019. Goalies are Nick Porter and John Hedges. I'm not sure there's necessarily one that's been favoured over the two. Nathan Power got off to a terrific start in the first game against Kazakhstan with a hat-trick. And Tim Hamill is their coach. Vedran Čerković is the man as we look to the right-hand side. Fourth place at the World Championships when it was on home territory in 1998 in Perth. Fifth place at the Olympics, that's all ancient history now. They'll be hoping to make some history of their own and improve upon that 6th place. So they were very closely matched 3 years ago, and the essence of both teams is very much the same. So let's see whether the Serbs can come out on top. I was saying at the introduction, in effect, the winner of this will win the group and get an easier passage through. Both teams are pretty much guaranteed to go through, but getting that first place rather than the second place can be beneficial and advantageous. USA up last for Australia and Kazakhstan for the Serbs. So Australia having got Kazakhstan out of their system, though the USA will have quite a lot to fight for in that third game, whatever the outcome is against Kazakhstan. So no easy games left. Obviously the referee wants them all to be back on that white goal line. Make sure there's no cheating for the first sprint, which will be very competitive. These could easily get split. Blue caps for Australia. Well, say blue caps, they're obviously green and gold. And the white caps for Serbia. Australia win the first sprint and will be playing from right to left. Blake Edwards, the captain, will advance the ball via George Ford. Pavlard looks up and sees if there's a route to goal. There isn't one now because he's been dunked by Radulovich. They get the shot in, but it's a pretty tame effort. And already, I think we have an exclusion. As that one comes off the shoulder of the goalie. Well, there is an exclusion, but there was a lot of whistling going on from the ref. I thought he was going to give one, but that will be a turnover for the Serbs, who will get their first possession via the palm of, as I say, 37 years old this year, Branislav Mitrovic. captain. Watch out for the youngster, 21 years of age, youngster in terms of this team anyway, Marko Radulovich. There he is, looking in the centre of the goal, looking for the option, going to get in a bit further, a couple of pump fakes and then the shot. As that gets a big deflection and falls into no man's land. So Australia have gone with Nick Porter as their starting goalie for this one. Going to be an exclusion for Dordelazic, but that didn't work out terribly well. I think the Australians were concentrating too much on worrying about having a man advantage and just threw the ball away. In effect, they could have held on to that for a little longer. But first of the fouls, so the Serbs like to pick up a few fouls along the way. First one against their name. Well, we kind of lost Nikola Jaksic for a moment. We're going to lose an Australian now. We're going to lose Timothy Putt. He's gone for 20 seconds, so a chance for the Serbs to set things up through Radulovich. Jaksic. Oh, doesn't find a chance to get the shot away because there was a outstretched palm of Luke Pavillard. Aussies will swim forward and gives Nick Porter a chance to look and see what his options are. Pavillard. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Can't hang around too long on this. They need something fairly decisive like now. And that was maybe a bit too far out. With the experience of Mitrovic, he's not going to have too many problems with that. And even though it's almost heading into the bottom corner, he's got a big palm. Radulovich. Nicely done, but backing in. Did manage to get the shot away, Vico, in the end, but it was a pretty tame one. Yeah, that's the below the surface action, of which there is plenty. Australia bring it forward through Pavillard. Coming from right wing this time. He's been playing in the centre for the most part in this game. Blake Edwards. 5 seconds. And chance for the shot. Oh, straight. That was forcefully into Dusan Mandic, who have taken quite a bit of the way of that. Still awaiting our first goal. Maybe it's coming now. No, that's wide from Blake Edwards. So we've had 3.5 minutes and still no goal for either side. So it could be quite tight. I think it will be. Now, are they going to look for the option this time? The ball carrier is Radulovich. Nobody in the centre because this player being held down. That player is Vico. And he'll be the one they'll try and find in the mid. No, they won't. They'll go another option instead. They'll go with Jaksic instead. And Nikola Jaksic gets the Serbs on the board. Yeah, Jaksic didn't score in the opening game. Scores the opening goal in this one. Still, the Serbian coach is not happy. Why, I don't know. That worked a dream. I didn't think that was the option they were going to take, but it worked out pretty well for them. And first blood to Serbia, with halfway gone in this first quarter. Timothy Putt. Again, the Serbs are trying to prevent the Australians getting too close to the goal. Edwards. The left-handed shooter, by the way, is Pavillard. And it's he they try and find. That's gone. There are 3 Serbs swarming around Timothy Putt, and he just, look at that, he just can't move. So a pincer movement from pretty much every angle. Radulovich will carry it a bit further forward now. Look and see what the options are. Back via Lukic. Radulovich just slipped away from him. Shot clock's down to 5 seconds. Nicely palmed away by Nick Porter. Good attempt, but not a successful one from Radulovich. And the Australians have a chance maybe to respond to that opening goal. That's a nice move, lovely move. That's exactly what Australia would have wanted, and it comes by the captain. Well, he put the finishing touches to it anyway, Blake Edwards. But beautiful setup right into the corner. Really nice. And there was no hanging around, thinking around, rotating around. It was just be direct, which might well be the best course of action for the Australians here. Blake Edwards ties it up. It's one apiece. Australians doing very well to keep the Serbs a long way away from danger. Radulovich, though, will move it in. Little lob pass for Radulovich. Hasn't got the angle for the shot now. Maybe no. Still not. They'll put it right in towards Dorde Lasic. And there'll be an exclusion for Australia. So man advantage for the Serbs, who are working it in much, much closer. And they've still got, two Australians out now. So a lot of work for the defence, and indeed the goalie, to do to keep him at bay, because already off are Put and Poot. Yeah, he's pumped as well. He might be, because that was really against the 8 ball, that one, because he had a 2-man advantage at that stage, and he managed somehow to get his claws on it. Not quite sure how he did, but doesn't matter how. What matters is that he did. Pavlard, left-handed shooter with 3 to go on the shot clock. Ooh, just wide. Just wide. Yeah, he's feeling it till they're out. Oh, here's a chance for Serbia. 4-2. It's a one-on-one, and the lob is on top. Srenia Radulovich had quite a lot of time to think about what he was going to do with that shot. By the time he arrived on the doorstep of Nick Porter, and on the top of the goal is where it landed. Charlie Negus. And gives it Pavlard. Riley Townsend. Negus. No, it's a pretty easy claim. No undue alarm for Branislav Mitrovic. Into the last minute. First quarter has been every bit as competitive as we thought it would be, every bit as tight as we thought it would be. Radulovich. That's a turnover. Mandic will have to swim back with his teammates and try and guard the front of their net. That's a turnover foul by Dusan Mandic. Now the Aussies can just use that shot clock down to 30 if they can. They've got 9 seconds though to get a shot away. Townsend thinks about it. Again, that was a fairly tame effort at the end. Not quite the quality of shot they wanted. The Serbs will get the last opportunity of this first quarter. Shot clock and game clock are almost identical. Shot's got to come in from Radulovich now, and palmed away by Nick Porter. And what an entertaining and competitive first 8 minutes that was. And after the first quarter here, it is Serbia 1, Australia 1. So just 2 goals, one scored by Nikolaj Jaksic to get us underway. And almost an immediate reply by Blake Edwards to make it 1-1. I don't think we're going to get the blowout scoreline that we had between the USA and Serbia in the opening game. These two are too well matched for that. Right into the corner. That's where you need to place it. That's precisely where Nikola Jaksic did place it. Try a little lob, and this is the one-on-one which was spurned by Radulovich onto the top of the goal rather than in the goal. You have to time your leap so carefully, Nick Porter, and I think he just got it right, did enough to put the on-rushing shooter off. Both goalies have been on their mettle first 8 minutes, which is why 1 for 8 plays 1 for 9 at the moment. 17 shots, just the 2 goals. Shot efficiency not great. That means the goalies and the defense done a pretty decent job. A lot of those shots came from long range. Weren't too many close in. Aussie followers. There's been a noise for the Serbs earlier on as well, so I think we have support in both camps here. Viktor Radulovich, seen this all before. He'll turn 30 next year. One of the older members of the Serbian team. Who's going to win the sprint this time? Looks like Australia. Well, I don't know. Let's see what the referee says, because it's not conclusive. He's going to... All right, he's going to ask them to contest it. Yeah, that was inconclusive, so it's going to be a toss. And the Australians win it. Here's Blake Edwards to start the first movement forward in this second quarter for Australia. Now, have a player swimming in Chaz Poot. This is Charlie Negas, scores! What a great shot, and that kind of came out of nothing from, in fact, that was Nathan Power. He had the power, and into the corner it went. Yeah, good work from Nathan Power. And Australia, for the first time, have their noses in front. 2-1 they lead. Radulovich to Radulovich. It's going to be exclusion for Nathan Power. He's going to go for 20, which gives the Serbs an extra man. Can they take advantage of it? No, they can't, because that's a good block by Nick Porter. Yes, I love the way that the goalies celebrate in water polo just for making a save. At that near post, managed to cover it very nicely when they were a man light. Poot. We've got Putt and Poot both out there right now. Holding down. And that is going to be exclusion for the Serbs. They're going to lose, and are losing Lukic, and they're going to lose 2 players. They're going to also lose Marko Radulovich. 2-man advantage off the bar. Oh, what a waste. They had 10 seconds there to spare with 2-man advantage and weren't able to use it. Just rushed the shot a little bit. That's twice that's happened, once at one end and once at the other end, where it's a 2-man advantage not taken advantage of. Radulovich trying to work it in tight if they can. The Aussies not helping them in doing that now. What does the referee say? Is that a penalty? Yes, I believe it is. Yeah, penalty it is for the Serbs, and it'll be taken by Dusan Mandic. Mandic up against Nick Porter to make it 2-2 once the whistle has blown. Here we go. 2-2 it is. Serbia 2, Australia 2. Serbs led, Australia led. Now we're back to parity again. Yeah, faked very nicely, sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. And Dusan Mandic, hat-trick scorer in the last one, is underway in this one. Charlie Negus. I thought would score their second, but it actually was Nathan Power. Ball over the top. The swimming needed to be done by Captain Blake Edwards, and the time is a wasting. Down to 4 seconds, and that will be a turnover. Steal for Subotic. And the Serbs have it, but they're very deep. They've not made much progress already in the first 13 seconds. There will be an exclusion for Tom McJanet, and that's been put wide. Yeah, Nick Porter is very animated, even if he's not involved in the play. See that one go wide. It's amazing how many times when either team, for that took a massive deflection. And both sides have had 1 or 2 man advantage. We're going to say goodbye, I think, to Nemanja Vico here. In fact, no, it is Radolovich is going. Shot potentially coming in with this 11-second advantage, but I guess delaying. That was actually not the best option. There were a few others. They're trying to get Reece Holden involved in the action, couldn't. As they swim away. And goal apiece in this one, goal apiece in the opening quarter. Radolovich goes from deep, down to 6 on the shot clock, and that is another turnover in Australia's favour. Turnover foul by Nikola Lukic. 2-2 it remains. Australia looking to get their nose in front once again with Townsend. Townsend fakes. Off the woodwork it comes. They'll get a second chance. Little reverse shot from Tom McJanet, also saved. Australia with a third phase of possession here. George Ford. And that's obviously a reset of the shot clock. They're down to 7 though. 6.2. Still rolling on, and they're not going to have a chance to get the shot away. 3:33 remaining. Well, there's a couple of very quick saves made here. Still could do it. Maybe the old man in between the posts, but still doing a very, very good job. Here's Radolovich, Subotic, Radolovich. Good interchanges there. Any end product there might be. Rather submerged was Dore Lazic, and another penalty for Serbia coming up. Australia just a bit ill-disciplined. Man who took the first will take the second. Dusan Mandic scored on his first penalty goal. This will be his third of the competition if he puts it in, and he doesn't. It's wide. So 1 for 2 for him, 1 for 2 for Serbia, and that was quite errant. 2-2. Well, gave you the big build-up, said it would be quite close and quite tight. So it is proving to be. Blake Edwards might have to come back around to him. They do. Edwards, has he got a clear route to goal? No, he hasn't. And neither did George Ford, ultimately. Two and a half minutes to go in this one, and that's, is it going to count? Yeah, it is going to count, I think. A lot of whistling going on as the exclusion came for Charlie Negus. Yeah, that is going to count. And Mandic, although he couldn't put away the last penalty shot, does put away the ball from open play, and not best pleased is the Australian coach, Tim Hamill. Didn't feel he got the rub of the green there. Now, is he considering a timeout? No, not just yet. Probably a bit early to use those. But Serbia, having been behind twice, are leading now by 3-2. Chaz Put. 22nd, there's going to be an exclusion for Nikola Lukic. Second yellow for him. Marsden. Now, we've not seen too many goals with the man advantage. And Australia in that sequence. Put into the corner. It goes from George Ford. And we are tied again. Cracky match. Cracky match. George Ford, Nathan Power and Blake Edwards with the goals for Australia. A couple from Dusan Mandic and Nikola Jaksic with the goals for Serbia. As we head towards half-time, it is still as tight as it could be. Serbia with the first goal, Australia with 2 leads. Now, Serbia, who were 3-2 up, find themselves back at 3-3. Radulovich. Swimming just a bit closer. That's a decent attempt, but not good enough to find a way past Nick Porter. Again, there's the old fist bump. Minute and 17 is a quick transition here by Australia. Charlie Negus, and they'll just take a little bit of time. Chaz Put, Negus, Pavlard, Negus, way out. Not going to shoot from there, surely. Marsden, 0.6, and they're going to have to give it up. And Serbia will have the ball back. It's pretty intense. Look at the Australians have got, Tim Butt's got 2 fouls. Nikola Lukic has got 2 fouls. They're both in danger. Look at the shot count, almost identical. Radovic looking for the option for the shot. Plenty of time, but 12 seconds to set this one up. And they do, and that's saved. And we'll give them another 20-second shot clock because of the save from Nick Porter. And, well, maybe fortuitous, but he's got his arm in the right place at the right time. Radulovich, 15 seconds. Needs some help to arrive. Oh, and it does arrive belatedly from Radulovich. And then the Australians lose a player again. They're going to lose Chaz Put. This time he goes to 2 fouls as well. And real option here, but on the top of the goal it goes rather than inside the goal it goes. And with only a few seconds remaining. So there's been some really good defensive work in front of the Australian goal with The defenders getting their hands on the ball before it reaches Nick Porter, and we cannot separate these two teams at half-time. We couldn't after 8 minutes play, and nor can we after 16 minutes play. 2 goals apiece in that quarter means it's Serbia 3, Australia 3 at half-time. Well, a thoroughly entertaining first 16 minutes that has turned out to be. Really has. And we've had all kinds of fluctuations as well. Both goalies heavily involved. Yeah, he's making it very clear what his instructions are. Nick Porter at one end and slightly less demonstrative Branislav Mitrovic at the other end. Kind of just gets on with it. Yeah, took a nasty ricochet. Yeah, the look on the face of Branislav Mitrovic tells you all you need to know. He thought he had it, and then it just took a little deflection and he was beaten. Both goals have been pretty good in this game so far. Dusan Mandic has missed a penalty shot. But he's also scored 2 goals in their 3. Nick Porter, sometimes quite fortuitous, but wasn't much you could do about that one. And he was waiting for a referee's call that never came. 3 from 15 from both sides. Shot efficiency, therefore, exactly the same. Action shots, 2 from 11 for Australia. And of course, there was that one penalty missed by Serbia, which would have given them the advantage, but Dusan Mandic, despite getting 2 goals, could have had a hat-trick. Coaches will earn their corn in between the 2 halves here, trying to motivate their teams, and just a little nuance, a little change, a little tweak. Going to keep an eye on the penalties. A couple of fouls for Lukic. A couple of fouls for Putt and for Poot for Australia. And it's like a jack in the box. Here's Nick Porter today. Right, well, they're gone with the backup goalie, Lazar Dobazanov, for the second half. So Mitrovic first half, and now Dobazanov for the second half. Didn't do anything wrong, did the captain, but he's going to sit aside and watch from the sidelines as Serbia win their first sprint. (3-3). Who's going to take the early marker here? Well, it's not going to be Serbia yet, because that is a steal by Luke Pavillard. And Nick Porter into the action pretty early in the 3rd. Ball carrier this time is Luke Pavillard, left-handed shooter. How far is he going to go? That was nearly very nice. Nicely orchestrated move involving Blake Edwards, but he wasn't able to palm it in, because the new man between the posts has made the stop. Exclusion for Australia coming up, and it's going to be, in fact, it's going to be a exclusion from the match as well for Timothy Putt. That's a red card. They lose their number 10. He's gone. They're a man down, and they're a goal down. because that is Nikola Lukic putting Serbia back in front. He doesn't seem ever happy when they score goals. I don't know why. You think he'd be jubilant and excited, but he always seems to have a bit of a frown on his face when they go in front. But there are some other people who don't feel quite the same way in that pool, including the goal scorer, Nikola Lukic. Gums getting a bit of chewing today, and that from Dejan Savic. So Serbia back in front again. Twists and turns every which way. Pavlard a long way out. 12 seconds remaining on the shot clock. How close can they get in on this one? Looking for an attempt. They'll try and put it right in front, but that was not quite where Nathan Power wanted it. It's with Topozanov. And Serbia bring it forward through their youngest player, Radulovich. Jaksic. It's way too powerful and ill-directed. Ball straight back to Nick Porter. In the last game, he played all but 3 minutes. John Hedges got 3, he got 29 with their big win against Kazakhstan. I think timeout's coming because there's an exclusion for Serbia. So I think it's a timeout coming from Australia to talk about this play, because they'll have the man advantage. And we'll hear from Tim Hamill. He's got some words to say to his troops.
Good job, boys.
Laker 1, Georgia 2, Powers 3.
Chaz, 4, Luke, Chaz. Boys, we're playing 41. 41. So remember, ball goes from Porter. You go straight to Charlie, to the wing, back to Pav to the middle. Then ball to the wing, Chaz, inside and hold. 2 in, 1 in, Nath Flate long, Luke to the middle.
Well, clear instructions for them. Now they've got a 20-second advantage with an extra man. They're right on top of the Serbian goal. You'd say the odds would favor them. But can they get the ball distributed as they want it? Will the Serbs allow them to go in tight? Will they need to? Poot. Playing around, did very well. Blake Edwards to hold on to that. Pavlard, no. Second chance, maybe a reset of the shot clock. Pavlard again. Nice, nice, nice from Australia. Very good from Nathan Power. Beautiful work. Didn't work the first time, most certainly did work the second time. Nathan Power into the bottom right corner, and that is kind of what the coach was talking about before. Good ball rotation, get a quality shot away, and Nathan Power, who got a hat-trick in the opening game, has 2 in this. We had 1-1, we had 2-2, we had 3-3, now we have 4-4. Drasovic for the Serbs, attacking the goal to our left-hand side. Radulovich just over the top of Drasovic. Shot from Rasovic. Okay, another chance with the reset to 20. Drasovic is still the open man. If they want to go to him, they're going to go inside instead, and immediately smothered out of the play is Nemanja Vico. Australia swimming away quickly. Hoping that maybe Luke Pavlard with that left-handed shot can do something. Looking for that bottom corner, perhaps. Pavlard thinks and then gets dunked by Radulovich. He'll get a chance to resurface. Give it to Radalovich, to Negus. And I think we're going to find Aussie without his cap at the moment. Yeah, we do. Radalovich, coach, says, come on, let's get a bit of impetus in here. Last 4, we're halfway through the third quarter. Radulovich. Is there going to be exclusion? Not yet. But there might be surely. Where things are going. Lukic off the frame of the goal. Nearly fell fortuitously back to Drasovic, but ends up in the hands of Nick Porter instead. Out will go Radulovich for his second yellow card. Australia have the man advantage for 11 seconds. They don't have that on the shot clock, though. They need to be a bit more quick. Negus not able to find a way past Dobozanov this time. And Serbia will be back to full strength, and they'll get the man straight out of the exclusion zone into the play. And Radulovich involved. Lukic has 2, Radulovich has 2 in terms of personal fouls now. Australia have already lost Tim Putt. Poot is on 2. So we may well lose another player before the end of this game, maybe a couple. Stays at 4-4 with 2:36 remaining. Pavlard does log a lot of pool time. Ford. Oh, nearly. So nearly. A little lob, which nearly for Dobozanov, and all they did was clatter back off the post. There will be a Serbian timeout. And we'll hear what Dejan Savic has to say.
Jakšan, Đole. Molim vas, samo treba da radite. Okej, promašujemo, nema veze. Samo sam vam rekao, nisu problem promašaja, nego način ispaljivanja lopte, način na koji se šutira, način na koji je završena akcija, jebote. Idemo, bre! Ajde! Viktore, ostaje Lukić. I ovdje samo da vidim. Tap, tap, tap. Drašo dođe.
I don't know about you, scare me. I'd do anything he said. Dejan Savic, the Serbian coach, has told them exactly what he wants. 1-1 first quarter, 2-2 second quarter, 1-1 third quarter. Every bit as tight as we imagined it might be. Nikola Jaksic. Rasovic. Jaksic again. Interchange between those two, and he's looking at pump fake 3-4 times where it goes over the top of the goal. That was a waste. Absolute waste. Just waited to try and disconcert Nick Porter. He wasn't going to be moved. Last 2 minutes of an absorbing third quarter. They all have been so far. Quick transition for Australia. And exclusion for Serbia. They're going to lose a player, and another 20-second advantage for the man advantage for Australia. Pavlard. Surely they've got something to get to the end of this. They have! Massive deflection. Blake Edwards with the shot went in off Lobozanov. And Australia are in front once again. What a game. Couldn't keep it out. Got a huge piece of it, but all he did is succeed in pushing it into the back of the net, and Blake Edwards has 2. He has 2, Power has 2, Ford has 1. That means Australia are in front again. 1:35 remaining. We're going to lose number 4 for Australia, Charlie Negus. So now it's Serbia's chance to have that man advantage and maybe level things up. And they have Radomir Drazovic. Put Serbia back level. What a game. Another man advantage with an Australian sitting it out. Not everybody can be covered, of course. So Drazovic with that bullet-like shot into the corner. And his first of the game, and Serbia's 5th. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. A enthralling game between these two. As we thought it might be. No, not going to quite dribble it. No. He wants it, but he's not going to get it, Luke Pavlard. Don't think we need VAR for that. Naked Iketas didn't quite find his way over the line. Pretty close, but not close enough. 5-5. Nikola Lukic. Back around for the potential shot. And a long way out still to really get something meaningful away. In fact, they've let it go. Back into Australian possession, thanks to that steal from Charlie Negus. Australia, if they use the clock wisely, will not allow Serbia back into this quarter. You take it down a little bit further. They've got 10 seconds and not in shooting position yet. George Ford. Townsend. Oh, good save. Good save. Excellent save by Lazar Dobozanov. I think they thought it was in. They'll get the last few seconds possession. They'll get another. Serb will disappear and they'll lose Subotic for the first time. And that will run the clock down to 0. And it's 2-2 in that period and 5-5 overall between Serbia and Australia, with one more crucial quarter to come. Enthralling, it's thrilling, and it could go any which way. All 3 results are very much still possible in this one. Nothing but nothing separating them. Only ever been a 1-goal lead at any time. Both sides have been in front. Defense is on top for the most part. Goalie's on top for the most part. Couple from Dusan Mandic. How crucial could that missed penalty be for Serbia? He's got a couple, it's true, but he also missed one. Nikola Lukic, Nikola Jacic, and Radomir Drazovic with the Serbian goals. Australia grateful to Nathan Power, to Blake Edwards for 2 each, and George Ford as well. That was the Drazovic goal. Drazovic, who fouled out in the first game, is being a good boy today. Hadn't got any personal fouls against him at all. Look at the shots. That's how tight it is. 5 from 23, plays 5 from 24. Extra player shots, pretty similar. There is not much between these two teams, if anything. What will happen in the last 8 minutes? They don't know, we don't know, and I doubt very much that the players in the pool know at this stage. Both with wins from the opening game. If this is a draw, of course it does then give the others a chance, the USA in particular, to get back in and maybe get second place. But a decisive result here either way would send Serbia or Australia through as group leaders and probably group winners. And that will be Serbian ball, I think. Yeah, no, it's actually come up as Australian ball. So 3-1, they've won the sprints. Pavlard. Now, how do they play this next 7 minutes and 43? Well, they don't want to give the ball away, that's for certain. Exactly what they've done early on. And in the advantage back to Serbia with Radomir Drasovic. Rasovic, not to be confused with Drasovic. There are 2 Rasovic's and 1 Drasovic. And Australia losing a player. They're losing Charlie Negus for his second. Oh no, his third. It's come up as a red card. So Australia have lost their second player. They'd already lost Putt, now they've lost Charlie Negus. 2 players down, Australia now, which means they don't have the depth of bench they want, maybe going down the stretch. I thought it might be Serbia got themselves into foul trouble. It's actually Australia today who've transgressed. Luke Pavlard. Shot clock is on 8. Pavlard needs something pretty. They're a long way back. Surely you're not going to get a chance to shoot from here. It's going to come in quickly now. They're going to run out of time. 30 seconds elapsed. Good defensive work by Serbia. Now have a quick transition, but a good save. Nick Porter, we made a fist pump this time. Often do after he's made a save, but no, just holding on to the ball this time. Very good save. Was, yeah, full stretch. Yeah, they love it. That really has enthused them. And keeps the score at 5 apiece. Exclusion coming for Serbia's number 5, Dorde Lazic. That's 2 for him. Pavlard. Boot. Pavlard, left-handed shot. Beautifully done. Almost. Oh, he's lost his cap as well. Or he's got, actually, he got a smack in the face. Absolute smack in the face off the back of that. Look at this. See whether we see it on the replay. May not go that far. Yeah, they thought that was in. It's beautifully set up, but the end product wasn't there. Australia lose Nathan Power for a second time, so Serbia with the man advantage. Can they make it count? No, they can't. Off the frame of the goal. They get another 20 seconds. That goes out of play, so they won't get an extra 20 seconds. And Australia will get the ball back with 5:28 remaining. Yeah, there were some fingers on the ball en route, but it did disappear. So that's Australian ball now with Nathan Power. Is back from his exclusion zone into the play. Contributed 2 goals so far. Pavlard trying to catch Dobozanov off guard. Didn't succeed. Here's the 1-on-1. Here's the chance for Serbia to take the lead. And a great save. Listen to that noise. Nick Porter stands tall and prevents Strahinja Rasovic putting Serbia in front. A delayed reaction, delayed fist pump this time. Ooh, that was well, it might call a bit of a whip action on that shot from Luke Pavlard, but it did eventually go wide. A little deflection en route. Yeah, it's getting pretty intense down there. Australia with 2 players out though. Down the stretch, that could be quite key. Rasovic. And is that going to be a penalty? No, it's not. It's going to rotate it, and again off the frame of the goal it goes. Australia desperate to get it. No call made in terms of a penalty shot. They kept the possession. Both coaches will have to use their timeouts wisely now at the appropriate time if they need to. He's nearly ducking into that one. Halfway through the 4th. Australia now with the possession, but being forced further and further back. Only 5 seconds on the shot clock. Something has to come in now from Pavlard, and it had to be a fairly tame shot from that distance at that time. Dobozanov feeds it out to Radulovich. On a knife edge this game. Australia cannot afford too many personal fouls either. That's something they're going to be very mindful of, having lost already 2 players. Lukic scores for Serbia! Nikola Lukic, second for him, and Serbia edge in front once more.
Serbia 6, Australia 5.
Nothing really Nick Porter could do about that. 2 from 4 attempts for Nikola Lukic, and what's important from Serbia's point of view is they are in front once more. Both sides have had an advantage for a large period of this game, but there's only ever been 1 goal. There's never been more than a goal between them at any stage. Serbia started the scoring. Have they finished the scoring? Jasput on 2 fouls. Got to be careful now. Pavlard, again, a left-handed shot, looking for a corner. Hasn't got a corner to shoot into yet. They're running out of time on this move. Last 4 seconds, Pavlard cannot shoot from there. That's a wasted opportunity and thrown away. Just holding the clock. Now it's getting a little bit fractious, to say the least, isn't it? Radulovich, 2:47, still plenty of time for us to go any which way. Radulovich, Rasovic, Radulovich. Trying to be a little bit too careful, a little bit too cute there, and it just ended up with Nick Porter. Wants a timeout. He's telling his coach he wants a timeout. Is he going to get one? Not at the moment, he's not. .208. Australia need a quicker transition than they're getting at the moment. George Ford. Shot on the bounce, but that's easily dealt with by Dobozanov. Serbia now looking to get down the pool as rapidly as they can. Gavril Subotic not being harried and hassled at all. Jaksic. Australia will have that back. Here comes that timeout that Nick Porter wanted. And Australia have called it. So we will hear from Tim Hamill. Did what his goalie wanted him to do as they talk about the next play, which could be the game-tying play.
Tom, you want to be out. Riley, for Tom. Boys, watch here. Blake, where are you? Blake, you'll be here. Okay, Pavlard here. Centre forward, this side. Okay, this side here, George. And then Blake, you're coming here. Ball here to Pav and go on this far post. So set up normal, set attack. Centre forward, go to here. George, watch out, press.
Good job by our man with the big microphone to pick up all the words of Tim Hamill. Let's see whether they can execute this drill as he has described it. Time is not on Australia's side, though. They need to make this one count. 30 seconds in which to do so. Now down to 20. Holden. Very tight angle and in a bit of trouble, and he's going to get stripped to the ball unless he can win it back. He can't. And Subotic has done what he wanted to do for his team, and Australia have not followed the letter of the law from the timeout as illustrated by Tim Hamill. And now Serbia can work the clock down. Don't need to rush their shot. They're the team in front. Next goal will put it out of reach. There'll be a timeout for Serbia now. Dejan Savic has called a timeout. Yep, we'll hear what the Serbian coach has said.
Zajebalo mi se klupa, nema veze. Nisam trebao da tražim time-out. Imamo 8 sekundi, ej, brzi, ej. Slušaj, ovako ćemo, nemoj ti da izvodiš. Znači, brzo sam sebi, Manda dobija loptu, raširite mi gore skroz, Strahinja prolazi, ideš, čuješ? Ej, znači, ili tvoj šut ili Strahinja, ajmo.
Just interrupted the flow a moment. And there are 8.2 seconds remaining on this play. And 57 seconds remaining on the game clock. Now, if they could score on this, that's pretty much game over. Give Australia one more chance, and maybe they can. Well, there's the save made by Nick Porter, so he's done his bit. Now he has to distribute the ball and find somebody who can make something meaningful happen. And it needs to be pretty quick, because they may only get one chance. 17 seconds. Who's advanced? There's the goal! Game-tying goal from George Ford. No, it's not. It's not given. It's not given. The whistle had gone prior to it. There was a lot of celebrations. They thought it was in. It was in, but the whistle had gone prior to the shot. So that George Ford goal will not count. And Serbia have 12 seconds, and to all intents and purposes, they can hold on to the ball. Don't need to shoot. They have the win. George Ford thought he got the game tire, but the whistle had gone prior to the shot. So that won't count, but what will count now is a win for the Serbs. That's it. That does confirm it. What a terrific game that was, and only one goal in the final quarter, and the one that separates it. Well, Australia tried, and they led for a fair proportion of that game, but Serbia scored the goal that mattered right at the end. They scored first, and they scored last, and that's two crucial points for Dejan Savic and his team. And they will go to the top of the table, virtue of a 6-5 win over Australia. Best game of the men's tournament so far.
So this is the second victory for Serbia during the tournament, and Serbia has 4 points. Four players have scored 2 goals during this game.
So they're going to work out now who's going to get player of the match. It's a difficult one. Probably go to the winning team. It probably will go to Dusan Mandic, but let's look at the shots. Can barely separate them. 6 from 29, 5 from 30. So Australia marginally out shooting Serbia. Shot efficiency, therefore, not quite as good, but, you know, it really was nothing between them ultimately.
Before the ceremony, let's watch a short video.
So let's have a look at a quick highlights reel of what was a classy encounter, and thoroughly enjoyed by those who were on poolside as well. Very intense. We had 2 Australians fouled out, and about 3 Serbians who nearly fouled out. That man had a very good game. He was on the losing side ultimately, Nick Porter. Made some good saves, as indeed did Branislav Mitrovic initially, and then Lazar Dobozanov in the second half. Timeouts used by both sides. Not to great effect, it must be said. And an 11-goal thriller ends with Serbia just getting notes in front the last couple of minutes, and George Ford thought he'd got the game time, but it wasn't to be. Player of the game, I imagine it to be Mandic.
Serbia, player number 6, Nemanja Vico.
Well, they go to Nemanja Vico. For reasons I can't really work out, but I'm sure they have the reasons.
The award is presented by Milivoje Bebic. Congratulations.
So 1-1 first period, 2-2 second period, 2-2 third period, 1-0 last period. So Nico is the player of the game, and look forward to seeing Serbia and Australia again if they can serve up this quality of water polo going forward. But Serbia go to the top of the group with 4 points. Australia will now battle it out with the USA, most likely for second place. There is the group table as it stands, and goal difference exactly the same, but the points at the end in Serbia's favour. USA play Kazakhstan in around about half an hour's time. Cracking stuff. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back for more action a little later on. We'll see you then.